Hey everyone, welcome to Coding Simplified, and now we'll see a new question in graph. So basically we are given a undirected graph and we need to find out that whether there exists a cycle or not. So like here, if you see, here we have different example of graph. This is one undirected graph. So here if you see, we don't have any cycle because there is 0, then 1, then 2, so there is no cycle form. Now in this graph we have one cycle because from 0 to 1, 1 to 2 and 2 to 0. So it means what the cycle means. Cycle means that if I start from a point, so can I again reach to the same point? So like here in this case, if I start from 0, I can again reach to same point. If I start from 1, I can again reach to same point, right? Now see here, whether there is a cycle. Yes, here we have a cycle for this case. We have cycle for 1, 2, 3. So there exists a cycle. This is a cycle. Now this is another graph. In this graph is not connected. This is also a undirected graph, but here we have two different connected components. This is one connected component, this is one connected component. So it can happen in graph that these are not connected. So here the whole graph will connected in all the above three cases. But here this is also a undirected graph, but the graphs are not connected. So in this case also I have one cycle. I have cycle 2, 3, 4. Right? So if I need to find out that whether there is a cycle exists in undirected graph or not, then we can take the help of DFS. So what we need to do, we'll simply do the DFS. Now if we have the connected components, like you are given that let's say your whole graph is connected, it means all components are connected to each other. Then in this case we can start the DFS from any point, right? So if you are not given any specific thing that whether the graph is connected or not, so by default you can assume that there might be a possibility that graph is not connected. So in this case what we'll do, if it is the case, so we'll basically operate from I equals to 0 to n, means for every point we'll check that whether there is a graph or not, right? So now it means that we have we understood that we need to operate the DFS. So let's start with here. So in DFS what happens, that here in DFS we basically maintain a widgeted array, right? So in this case what we do, so here my size is, let's say this example, here my size of, here I have 3 indexes, 3 nodes. It means I'll create the size of 3 values in 3 values array, and this is a widgeted array. This is widgeted array. So basically this is a Boolean array. So at the starting all the values have the false values. So we can define the graph via two ways. One way is adjacency matrix and another way is adjacency list. So let's say if I define using the adjacency list, what will happen? So 0 is connected to 1, 1 is connected to 2, and 2 is connected to 1, right? So basically here the 1 is also connected to 0 and 2 both, because this is undirected graph, right? So in the undirected graph we need to write all the neighbors where it can go. So this is the adjacency list, means each index represents a list, and that list basically contains all the neighbors where it can go. So like from 0 I can go to 1, from 1 I can go to 0 and 2, from 2 I can go to 1, right? Now what will happen? Now we start the starting point, and here I mark this value here, because let's say if I'm starting from here, so I mark this value as widgeted, so here it will be true, right? Now what will happen? Now I will check that which are the neighbors of this 0. So I can get the neighbors from here. So now neighbors of 0 is this 1. So I will again call the recursively. Now here I am recursively calling the DFS, right? Now when you will again call this 1, so if you see here, now when I will go here 1, so I will also mark this 1 as widgeted. It means 1 is also widgeted. Now I will check the neighbors of 1. So the neighbors of 1 are 0 and 2. So first of all it will check that whether there exists a, now for this 0 is already present in the array. So if it already present, so can I say that there exists a cycle? So if you see here that 0 is basically the parent of 1. So parent means because 1 has occurred from the 0, because 0 is a parent, and then only we widgeted 1, right? So basically we need to check this case because this is undirected graph. So even for the parent it will give me the case, even for the parent it will give me the neighbor, right? So we need to basically check this condition. So if neighbor is present in the widgeted array, if it is true, but if it is a parent, so it means this is not a part of cycle. Because what will happen for each case, if you see from here, how we reached this 1? From 0 itself we reached from the 1, right? And so here it will always be a combination, because let's say if we have only two case, let's say if I have only two values here, so in this case what will happen, I have only two index, so here it will be 0 and 1. Now for the 0 I will mark here true, right? Then I'll go again here. Now for the 1, it will give me this 0 itself, because 0 is also neighbor of 1. So in this case we can't say that this is a part of cycle, because 0 is a parent, right? So that is why we are saying that we'll basically operate the DFS, but we need to take care this case that if it is a parent, then I will not say that this is cycle. So in this case what will happen, that for the 1, if you see here, this is very important point that you understand it. Otherwise we are just covering the DFS, it's just that we need to handle this parent case, right? So please understand it again. So basically what happened here, that for this one we found out that there are two neighbors, 0 and 2. Now when we checked for this 0, so 0 was already visited, right? 0 was visited, but the point is 0 is a parent, so that we need to take care the parent thing. So when you see the code, so then we'll see that how we'll basically operate the parent. So what we'll do, that whenever I'm calling recursively DFS, I will also pass the parent, that what is the parent. So when I'm executing this one, so I know that this 0 is also a parent, right? So whenever I found this value that this is already visited, I will check that if it is a parent, it means I can ignore this value, and if it is not a parent, then I can be sure that there is exist a cycle, right? So we'll see in this second case. First of all, let's cover this one. Now for this 0 we have covered. Now the next element is 2, right? So next element 2, it means recursively again it will go to 1 to 2. So now when we are on the 2, so it means the 2 is visited, so I will mark this value as true. Now I will again check that what is the neighbors of 2. So neighbors of the 2 is 1, and if you see, the 1 is visited here, the 1 is showing visited, but this 1 is parent, because what was the path? The path was 0, 1, 2. So again when we will reach here, so we know that what is the parent is 1, right? It means I can ignore this one, and after that there is no such value, right? So I can safely say that there is no cycle here in this undirected graph. Now let's cover this one. Now you will see the difference, that how it is happening. So let's say here again I will define this value 0, 1, 2, and at the starting all values are false. So this is my visited array. Now let's say if I start from this 0. So if I start from 0, it means I will mark this value as visited, means true. So then first of all I will check the neighbors. So what is the adjacency list for this one? The adjacency list for this one will be 0 is connected to 1 and 2, 1 is connected to 0 and 2, and 2 is connected to 0 and 1, right? Because 0 and 1, because this is undirected graph, so this will be adjacency list. Now I am starting with the 0, so I have marked here true. Now my next two values are 1 and 2. So because the 1 is the first neighbor, so I will recursively go on the 1. So when I will go here on the 1, I have marked that this is my parent. So this is my parent and this is the index currently. So when I will operate on 1, this 1 will give me that these are the two neighbors for this 1. First neighbor is 0. So I will check. So when I am at here, I will mark here as true. So for the 0, this is visited here, but this is the parent. You can see here this is parent. So it means I won't do anything for it. Now I'll operate this 2. So when I'll go here for this 2, it means this is not visited, right? So I'll again recursively call for this one. So if it is not visited, so when I will visit this, I will mark there as a true here, and now I will check that what are the neighbors. So neighbors of this 2 are 0 and 1, and if you see, the parent of this 2 was this 1. The parent of 2 was 1, and here the index, not 0. So when this 2 will check this 0 is the neighbor, so it will check whether this 0 is visited or not. So this 0 is already visited, right? So this 0 is already visited, and this is not a parent also. So in this case we can say yes, there exists a cycle. So how is my stake? My stake is something like this, that I started from 0, then I went to 1, then I went to 2, and then I'm going 0, right? So if you see, for this 2 the parent was 1, and for this 0 parent is 2. So it means here we are again retrieving 0 again. So it means there is a cycle, right? So this is how we are basically checking that whether there is a cycle or not. Now let's take one more case. Let's take this example. So in this case, what will happen? First of all, I have 4 indexes, so I'll create a Boolean array of the 4 values 0, 1, 2, 3. Now here I'm starting with this 0, so I'll mark this value as true first of all. And what is the adjacency list for this one? The adjacency list is for 0, it is connected to only 1. For 1, it is connected to 1, 2 and 3. For 2, it is connected to 1 and 3. And for 3, this is connected to 1 and 2. Right? So this will be my adjacency list. So first of all, it is giving me 0. So for 0, we have only one neighbor 1. So it means I will recursively again go to 1 and I'll mark this value as true. Now for the 1 check. For 1, I have 0, 2, 3. So for 1, these are the neighbors. Now 0 is a parent of 1. So it means for this we can't do anything. Now for 2. So 2 is not visited here. It means I will again recursively call this one 2. So I'll mark this value as true and then I will check with this 2. Now if you see here, for this 2 I have neighbors as 1 and 3, and because for this 2 1 will be the neighbor, so it means for 1 I won't do anything. For 3 is not visited, so I'll recursively call this 3 and I'll mark this value as true. So when I will reach at 3, I'll get the neighbors. So neighbors of 3 is 1 and 2. And if you see here, this 1 is already visited here. This 1 is visited here and 1 is also not parent, because the parent of this 3 is this 2, because the parent means from where we are coming. Right? So if you see the path, we started from 0, then we went to 1, then we went to 2, and then we went to 3. So it means from where this 3 is coming. So 3 is coming from this 2. It means the parent of this 3 is 2. Right? So here, like, you can argue that the parent of 3 is 1 also, but this is not the case. Here the parent is from where we are coming. So basically because we are coming from the 2, so this is a parent. So in this case, when it found out for this 3, when it found out there's 1 is visited here. 1 is visited, how we checked out? From this true. That 1 is visited and this is also not parent. It means that here we have the cycle. Right? Now the same thing happen for this case also. In this case, what will happen? For this 0, we won't find cycle. For this 1 also, we won't find cycle. But then we need to check for this case. So now first of all, I started DFS from here. Now here what I will do, that I'll start the DFS. If you see from here, so when I started for this 0, then this 1 is also visited. So it means if we have started the DFS from here, there is no point to start again DFS from here, because this is already visited. So it means what I will do, that I will basically call the DFS only if the element is not visited. So if it is not visited, then only call the DFS. And here you pass the parent. So from here we pass the parentage -1. Right? So this is the parent. So it means whenever I'm starting from here and a particular point, the parent will be -1, because this is my starting point. Right? Parent means this is my starting point. And now whenever I'm going, then I will define the parent and all that thing. Right? So this is the way so that we can define that whether there is a cycle or not in the undirected graph. Now let me show you the code so that you can get it better. So now here I have the nodes. It means how many nodes I have in the undirected graph. So first of all, I am defining the nodes. Now I am initializing the graph. So basically, as we know that here the graph is representation as a adjacency list, means list of list. So that is why we have the list of list graph. So whenever I am putting the value here, first of all I am initializing the list, that this is a blank list. Now I am creating the Boolean array. So I know that we need to create the Boolean array. So I have this visited Boolean array of the size equals to the node size, and this is defining that how many nodes I have. Now I know that for each point, for each index, there is a new array list. So basically we are defining a new list here. Right? So this is how we have defined the graph. Now after that we are adding the edges. So because this is an undirected graph, so we are adding the edges in the both the directions. So now what we are doing, we are saying that for each index we have a list, right? So it means get the list for this index and then add this neighbor into the list, right? So now we are adding for the both the cases. Now once we have created the graph and added the edges, then I'm calling the function if undirected graph has the cycle. So now here is the point, that why we are calling the DFS again, because we are not sure that whether the graph is connected or not. If graph is connected, then in this case you need to call the DFS only once, And let's say if your whole graph is connected, so in this case what will happen, that after the traversal of all the elements, your visited array will have all the values as true, right? So in this case it will not call again and again, because we have put this condition that call this DFS only if the element is not visited. So what will happen, for the connected graph the DFS will be happen only once, right? And for the non-connected, then it will call according to that one. So now we are calling the DFS. So here the index which I am passing, and here the parent, means from where it is coming. So because this is the starting point, so I am passing the parent as -1. Now if you see, here is my DFS. So here this is the index on which I am operating, and this is the parent. So what will happen, first of all, so put this value in the visited array as true. Now I am getting, give me all the children or give me all the neighbors. So basically rather than children I should say these are the neighbors. So it will give me the neighbors list. Now I need to operate the DFS one by one, because I need to travel all the element. So what I'll do, that if this neighbor is not visited, so if this neighbor is not visited, then I again call the DFS on this one. Now if you see the important point, that here now my child, because my neighbor is this one, then I always pass what is the parent. So here now my parent will be this index, right? Because I am operating on this index, and now I have got all the neighbors, and now I am calling DFS on this neighbor. So it means which is the parent? Parent is the current index. So this is why I am passing the parent as this current index. So what will happen? Let's say if somehow we get the visited, that this element is already visited. So here we check that if the element that you are getting neighbor, if it is a parent, right? So if it is a parent, then there is no cycle. But if it is not parent, so we return true. True means that there exists a cycle. So because we were mentioning here DFS, so even if you, what you can say, just you can call it as if cycle. So we can have if cycle, right? So basically this if cycle function present that whether there is a cycle or not. So like in this case, when the element is visited, and your neighbors are equal to the, and your neighbors is not equal to the parent, so in this case we can say yes, there exists a cycle, right? And if it is not the case, so we keep on running the case, and if at the last, if there is no cycle, so we return the false, right? So what will happen, that here also if this if cycle function get the cycle, so we return the true, else otherwise if there is no cycle, so in this case at the last we return the false, right? So the point is that this is exactly the DFS. This is actually the DFS. Now the important point is this one, the parent one, because here we are passing the parent. So through parent we are basically comparing that if it is coming from the parent, so then we should not compare, or we should not take this as a cycle. And if it is not parent, then we can consider it as a cycle in case this is already visited, right? So this is how we can check that whether there is a cycle or not in the undirected graph. Now if you see the time complexity in this case, so basically what we are doing, that if there are v vertices, then we are covering all the vertices, and if there are e edges, so we are also covering all the edges. So it means my time complexity will be big of v plus e. Now if you see that space complexity in this case, so basically we are taking this array of the size equals to big of v. So this will be my space complexity, right? Now we are not considering this case because the graph is already given, right? So we are not considering the complexity of this one. So that's it about the video, and if you have any doubts, then please write in the comment section. I will try to explain that, and I will also put the source code into description section, so if you want, then you can also get it from there. So that's it, and if you have liked the video, then please like it and subscribe the channel for more such videos. Thank you.